Need I say more? Benefit, you only need one. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to be talking about menstrual cups. Woo! I could talk about menstrual cups all day long. So here I am doing a whole video on them. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of menstrual cups, not that there is many, and then just some general tips about how to use them, how to buy them, blah blah blah. So let's get started. So just a bit of background. In the past I've used pads, tampons, and now I use a cup, and so I just think cups are the best thing in the entire world. So I have used the other things, and I do think that cups beat out those other things. So that's just to give that little intro so you know where I stand. Okay, in terms of pros, oh my god, genuinely, I'm being so dramatic, but I'm being serious. There are so many pros. Okay, cost. You buy one menstrual cup and you're sorted. You're done. They obviously range in different prices. You know, some could be like 30 euro, 40, 50, but you buy one. Instead of buying packs of tampons, packs of pads, whatever it is, every single month or every 2 or 3 months, depending on how heavy your flow is, etc., etc. You buy one. It is cost effective. Amazing. Like, need I say more? 2, sustainable. Oh my god, like, we talk about sustainability and the environment, and there are conversations around how, you know, people's periods and the products we use contributes to a bad environment. But if you think about it again, it's just more stuff that we are using every month that we are just throwing out that obviously cannot be reused, like pads, tampons, etc. With the menstrual cup, you're not throwing anything out. You keep it and use it again next month. Like, sustainable. Again, you buy one. That's all you're buying. Like, honestly, it's so shocking to me that more people aren't using cups because there are just too many pros. Like, this is good for the environment. Yes. Number 3, safer. Oh my god. And this is something that I know a little bit about, but even I need to know so much more about this. The toxins, etc., chemicals, dyes, colors, everything that goes into making your tampon the white color it is, or your pad or whatever, those are all toxins. And when you are particularly tampons, because you're putting them inside your body, when you're putting this inside your body, those toxins and those chemicals are also going inside your body. And in so many countries, there are no laws or regulations or policies or whatever that state that tampon companies or whatever have to have the list of ingredients on their boxes. Like, I encourage every single one of you to go into a shop right now. Well, not right now if you're watching the video. Find a box of tampons and see, are the ingredients on there. I would love if you let me know if they are, because very often they will not be, because they are under no obligation to, and that's dodgy. Why are the ingredients not on the box? And like, this isn't even like conspiracy theory stuff, like this is actually a thing. Like, there are actually toxins, and obviously there are chemicals in these things, and we're putting them into our bodies and we don't even know what. So that's that, first of all. So then, menstrual cups, made of silicone. That's it. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no toxins being absorbed into your body through your cervical wall. It's just silicone. Like, oh my goodness, so much better for you. And I mean, like, lest we even talk about things like toxic shock or whatever, like benefit, you cannot get toxic shock from a menstrual cup. So, oh my god, there are just so many benefits to this in terms of just your health in general. So yes, there's that. Then in terms of the logistics, so oh my god, like this is really one of the main benefits of menstrual cups. So again, depending on how light or heavy your flow is, for me anyway, I put it in once in the morning and I can leave it in all day until nighttime before I change it again before bed, and I can leave it in all the night before I change it again in the morning. That is revolutionary. Like, that is amazing. And honestly, as I said, that is, for me, one of, like, there are so many pros, but that is the main one. Like, you put it in the morning and you do not have to think about your period for another 12 hours. Like, that is amazing. Like, you're not constantly having to go to the bathroom to change a pad or a tampon. You put it in the morning and you do not think about it again. It's in there all day, just collecting the blood as it does, doing its thing, and you don't have to think. Like, it is amazing. And because menstrual cups work with like it's like a suction mechanism, like literally I feel like sometimes even when you use a tampon, I feel like sometimes still some blood does get down, but with a cup, because it literally works with like a suction mechanism, whatever, I don't know, like literally nothing gets down because it's literally like glued to your cervix. It's like sucked. I don't know. What am I saying? There's nothing getting down. So it's even so much safer. Well, not safer, but you know, like there's gonna be no accidents or no nothing if it's in properly. Like it is amazing, and you don't have to think about it and like, oh, that's just so lovely, because like, you know, you're on your period, you're probably, you know, there's so much going on, you know, and you could be busy or doing things and you just don't want to have to think about it, which like who does really? And this just makes you not have to think about it. It's glorious. And just on that, you know, like I feel like, you know, obviously there's so much stigma and embarrassment over periods, and you know, so often, like, you know, if you're using tampons, like, you know, you're in college or you're in work or you're in school or whatever, and you're getting the tampon from your bag, you're shoving it up your sleeve because you're so embarrassed and you're going to the bathroom. Like, obviously there should be no embarrassment about that. Like, you should be able to like wave your tampon left, right and center if you want. But like, if you are still kind of person that would be embarrassed by that, as so many of us would be, like even probably me if I still use them. But with menstrual cups, there's none of that. Like you literally put it in the morning in the comfort of your own home, your own bathroom. And again, you don't have to think about it for the rest of the day. There's no embarrassment. It's discreet if that's what you want. Like there's no like, you know, rummaging around your bag. There's no, you know, unwrapping a packet in the bathroom and people hear the noise and you're embarrassed, like all these things. Like there's just none of that. Like you don't have to think about it. It's amazing. They're also so good for traveling. Like if you're just, you know, traveling is just obviously like just a bit of a headache. Like you don't know when next you're gonna get to a bathroom, whether that's you're driving or you're on like a long haul flight and you're just like, time zones are all over the place and you don't know what's going on. Like again, it's just one less thing you have to think about. Like you don't have to think about like, okay, when can I find a bathroom? When can I go? Or like, if you are say on a plane, like, and you don't want to have to like get up and like be like reaching over the people next to you, like there's none of that. Like you just don't have to think about it. And like, I just particularly love it for traveling because like you're traveling, you're already stressed. You're trying to figure out your route, where you're going, get your flight, get a car or whatever. And it's just one less thing to think about. And then just in terms of like there's just so many random benefits. You just like wouldn't even think of it until you have one. But even just things like, you literally don't have to carry around anything with you. Like if you're say going out for the day and you're on your period, you're like, okay, well maybe I need, I don't know, 3 or 4 tampons for this day. Let's just, you know, bring out say 4 to be safe. Like that's like room that you need in your bag to take up with tampons. And like for me, like I don't like bringing a big bag with me ever. I love just like having my little small bag. So the less I can have with me, the better. So like if I don't have to bring like 4 tampons around with me, then that is an amazing thing. Again, and like you don't have to even bring anything with you because the cup is inside you. So again, like it's just less stuff. It's less mental space taken up with thinking about everything you need to manage being on your period. And like, you know, for me, like I'm already like, woo, maybe you're already like PMS brain or just kind of like not knowing what's going on, you know, in the lead up to your period or when you have it or whatever. So like, again, it's just one less thing to think about. It's amazing. And finally on the pros, just great for nighttime as well. Like obviously nighttime is a little bit different in terms of daytime because obviously when you think about things like gravity and just like lying down or whatever, there's maybe, you know, maybe you might leak more, or I don't know, or maybe it's just kind of harder to manage your period at nighttime, I feel. And because if you're asleep for 8 hours, like you kind of just don't know what you're meant to do. Like, are you meant to leave the tampon in for that long? Maybe not. Like, do we wear a pad? Does that even help? Like, you know, nighttime is kind of just a different ball game. So again, like you just put in the cup before you go to bed, take it out in the morning, and nothing has happened. It's just done its job. And again, like you don't need to wear like 10 billion pairs of underwear. Like you can literally just have the cup in and sleep naked or do whatever you like because there's no risk of anything leaking or whatever. Like it just does its job and it's amazing. So many pros. I could literally talk about it all day. So let's now move on to like the one con that I have. Okay, maybe I have 2 cons. They're kind of related. Blah, blah, blah. First one is, I'm not gonna lie, they are hard to get used to. I'm not gonna lie. And like I have been using mine now for about 2.5 years, I think, and I still struggle with getting it in properly and making sure that it actually is in. Like I spoke about the suction thing, making sure that it has actually you know, sucked up, that you actually hear the suction kicking in, because then you know it's working. But it is very hard to get it to that stage. So that is tough. But, and you know, there are some days where I'm just like, oh, I really wish I could just put in a tampon, be quick and easy, it would just do it, blah, blah, blah. But like, then I'd have to think about changing it 4 hours later. I'd have to think about all the cons that come with that. And I wouldn't want to. So I'm like, okay, Lauren, just stay calm, get into position, you know, make sure that you're doing it properly and get the cup in, because it will all be worth it. And it always is worth it. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it is hard to get in. But it's just a matter of practice, finding the right kind of way to do it for you. It really is worth it once you get the hang of it. And then just talk briefly about how it feels in terms of maybe a con or two. It can sometimes be uncomfortable. It could be that, okay, one, if it's not in properly, then it's uncomfortable. And that can be said for tampons as well. So just make sure that's in properly, then that won't maybe affect you as much. But you know, sometimes even if it is in properly, you still are maybe quite aware of it sometimes. It's not like anything that would really make me change going off one at all. It's not kind of a dramatic feeling, but you are sometimes aware of it. But I think it just means that it needs to be maybe readjusted or something, because ideally it shouldn't be uncomfortable. So maybe something needs to change there. That isn't specifically like a menstrual cup con, it's maybe just your menstrual cup con or your cervix con, or like something needs to change, you know. And then as well, sometimes the stem, so where is my cup? Oh, it's here, haha, woo. So this is the cup. I should have maybe shown this earlier on, but cups have a stem. Maybe you can see it, so that you can kind of pull it out easier. I actually don't even use it to pull it out. I just like actually grab it and pull it out. But the stem sometimes can be quite long. Like when I actually bought mine, it was out to here, let's say, and I just cut it off because I was just like, it actually was making me uncomfortable. So yeah, just be aware of that. But again, you can just cut it. So that's kind of a fixable problem. So yeah, as I said, there are those little few bits, but they can all be changed. And I'll talk about those in my next little segment, where I give some maybe general tips about menstrual cups. So yes, there are different sizes. They depend on whether you've given birth vaginally or not. If you haven't, then your cervix is going to be smaller, so you buy a smaller one. If you have, your cervix is going to be bigger, so you buy a bigger one. You know, so again, just be aware of what size you're buying. Make sure you're not buying one that's too big for you, because then obviously that will be super uncomfortable and may not actually fit and may just not work. So that's kind of pretty obvious. In terms of brand, I'm not going to give any major advice. Just maybe there are so many and it can get kind of overwhelming. So maybe just, you know, have a shop around. You know, each one kind of has different shapes and different, you know, factors about them that might make you want to buy them or not. So have a shop around and see which one you prefer. What I would say is maybe get like a cheaper one first, if it's like your first cup ever, to see if you even like using a cup. And then maybe if you like it, then maybe go for like actual brand name. But also, if your cheap one is working fine, use that too. You know, there's no harm in having a cheap one either. But also, one thing I wanted to mention is I'm part of like a cup group on Facebook. We all love cups. And some people in there own like 20 cups. And I'm like, okay, you do you. But I'm like, okay, like, why do you need 20 cups? But also in terms of the sustainability aspect, I'm like, well, the whole point is to buy less stuff. So why are you buying 20 cups? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, maybe try and avoid buying 20 cups. Like, you only need one. Yeah. And then people will always ask, like, how do you clean it? So literally you just boil it. Like, obviously just like, you know, run it under water, whatever, make sure it's clean. But then to really make it clean, you just boil it in water, and it's silicone, so it's perfect. You just literally put it in like a pot and boil it for a couple of minutes, I don't know, whatever, and then it's fine, and you know, put it away until you need it again next month. So that is this week's video. There's a lot in there. I really thought this video would be a lot shorter, but apparently I can talk about cups literally for so long. Oh, I would just say try it. I would just say get a cup. Like, people are so afraid, or people think that you're really radical if you use a cup. Like, it's just not that big of a thing. Like, I'm sure when tampons were first invented, they were seen as, oh my god, like, cups are honestly just so normal and like so much actually better for like everything, for your wallet, for the world, for your period, for yourself, for everything. So really, I would just say try it. Let me know how you get on. If you want to see more videos like this, please like the video or subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in next week's video for who knows what. So thank you very much and goodbye.